Rosalie's Kitchen. Today we're going to make the best lasagna. Okay, firstly we start by getting our veggies ready for the sofritto. Sofritto is a base of most Italian dishes. We'll be needing 2 onions, 2 celery sticks, 2 chopped up carrots, about 1 kilo of mince, 4 to 5 cans of peeled tomatoes or pureed tomatoes, some fresh herbs such as basil, parsley, bay leaves, and for that we will need some oil for frying and for seasoning, salt and pepper. Okay, to a large pot we add some oil, some olive oil. What's that, like about 1/4 cup? And to the oil we add our onions, celery and carrots, which is our sofritto. Now you probably think there's a lot of veggies in this, but it all shrink down. Okay, the lasagna we're making today is for about 8 to 10 people. Now all the ingredients I suggest that you use. If you want to make for less people, just half it, and that should be enough for 4 to 6 people. Okay, you can see it's nearly golden colour, and it's nice and soft and caramelised. So now at this point we are okay to add our beef. Okay. It's always best to use a high flame for this stage so we can fry beef, not boil the beef, and we'll try and break up the meat so that we don't get any large lumps. As you can see now it's starting to brown, so at this stage we add our seasoning. Okay, so we add about 1 tablespoon of salt, a level tablespoon. Add some pepper to your liking. What about half a teaspoon? Okay, I'm using a veggie mill to puree the tomatoes because I use whole tomatoes. As I said, you can use pureed tomatoes, which would make it a little bit easier for people who don't have a veggie mill. I add about 3/4 of a can of water. I usually rinse out the leftover puree that's in the tin, and I add it to the sauce to give it a bit of length so it won't completely dry it out. Okay, and at this stage also we can add our herbs. So what about 3 bay leaves to this size sauce, a good pinch of parsley, which is about a tablespoon of parsley. You can add a little bit more if you like. I like parsley. Then we add our basil. I like to add it in whole. Don't be shy of adding extra because the basil gives a nice sweet flavour to the sauce. Okay, the sauce is made now. We'll let this come to a boil and then bring it down to a simmer for about 1 hour. In the meantime, while this is cooking, don't forget to stir it every now and again, otherwise it'll stick at the base. So while this is cooking, we're going to make our famous bechamel sauce. Okay, in a small pan, to make the bechamel, you need about 70 grams of butter, 50 grams of plain flour, 2½ cups of milk, and then you can add salt and pepper for seasoning, and about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, so now we start by adding the butter to the pan. Cook the butter until it's melted, and then add the plain flour. You stir it until it's smooth and all the flour particles have disappeared. Then we add the milk slowly. Then we add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, nutmeg, and stir it. And you keep stirring until it thickens. As you can see, there's no lumps. The reason that there's no lumps is because we mix the butter and the flour together, and that stops it from lumping up. Now when it's boiling, the particles of flour are actually breaking, so you won't get any of those floury kind of feelings in your mouth. So you just let it, see, you can see the bubbling. So that's telling me that the bechamel is ready. Okay, so now we turn it off and the bechamel is ready to go. Okay, so we're going to grate about 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese, or your favourite cheese. You can use pecorino if you like. Okay, now we're going to assemble the lasagna. I know it seems like there's a lot of procedures, but when you get used to it, it's a lot easier than it looks. Okay, so you can even prepare like I said in the earlier segment, you can prepare the sauce a day before. The bechamel, that's easy, that's done within 10 minutes. So we have here the Parmesan cheese, ham, that's optional. If you don't like to have ham in your lasagna, you don't have to. We have mozzarella, the bechamel sauce that we made, the sheets of lasagna, I've used about 16 sheets, and of course our bolognese. Okay, so now we start by stirring the sauce so we get all the thickness of the bottom to the surface, and we put the first layer of sauce in a pan. Okay, and we get a sheet of lasagna. Now these are, you can make your own lasagna sheets if you prefer, but these ones are shop bought, but it's fresh pasta. These are lovely, and I like them because they're nice and thin, so they make a nice lasagna. Okay, you don't have to cramp them together because as the lasagna sheets cook, they will expand. Okay, so as you can see, I've left room between the lasagna sheets. Put another layer of tomato sauce. Okay, so then we put some mozzarella, good handful. Put some ham. Nice leg ham's preferred. Okay, so we put add a little bit more sauce. Okay, so we're going to put the mozzarella. So we continue doing these layers for about maybe 5 layers high. And a little bit of ham, because we don't want to get the ham being the overpowering flavour. Okay, so then we put another sheet, and then we'll add our bechamel. So as you can see, the bechamel looks nice and shiny and so yum and creamy. I can see my granddaughter. She's looking to see if there's any leftover so she can eat the rest. Okay, so now, this is optional. I always like to just put a little bit of sauce on it. You can leave the bechamel alone without any sauce. Okay, so actually I might put a little bit of cheese to give that bechamel. This is Parmesan cheese. This is to give the bechamel that extra flavour. I'll put another layer and then we'll put more sauce. I'm nearly up to my last layer. I'm not sure if I can add another one, but because I don't have a very deep dish, but if you have a deep dish and you like a nice high lasagna, you can do as many layers as you feel that you want to do. And I'm just going to see how I go. And as you can see, there's a lot of juice around the corners. This will help the lasagna to remain moist. If you feel that you don't have that juice, you may need to add a bit of water on the corners so that way these corners do not get crunchy and burnt. Okay, so I think we will add another layer. Make it nice and thick. Actually, I'll get rid of that little bit of ham. Okay, the 16 slices was just enough. Okay, so now the top layer, I always like to add more bolognese sauce because that is the main part of the dish. Okay, so you make it look like nice saucy bolognese. Okay, so we're in our final layer. As you notice, I put extra sauce on the top layer and we're going to put the extra Parmesan cheese. That'll make it nice and creamy. I like to spray some oil on the foil so that the cheeses don't get stuck. Okay, the lasagna is ready and I'm going to serve it to my guests. Yum!